Alright guys, on my way to Clearwater Card Show, the first local show I've been to since the National, and curious to see kind of what the buzz is. I'm going early. It's usually a lot busier during the middle part of the day, and especially on Sunday too. But I wanted to talk about something real quick related to grading with all the companies, PSA, SGC, CSG, BGS, and just everybody at this point. We have a lot of new people that have obviously entered the space, and one of the questions I had is, how many of these companies do you see still being in business in 2022? Let's say that. Let's give everybody a really good full year, and I think a bunch of them will, but in what capacity is really what that's going to come down to. Obviously, to grade cards for value, for most people is PSA, because that's the one that the market has decided to pay the most for. Now, Dustin, Personal Finance Dad, had a video today, and it's something we all talk about. What makes PSA superior? And it's just because the market's willing to pay more for it, but they don't have the most superior cards. And what I mean by that is BGS has a black label tin, which is probably the most valuable grade a card can get across any board. People don't submit cards that they assume might be a PSA 10 for that, just due to the fact that it's easier to get a PSA 10, because the difference between a PSA 9 and a PSA 10 for PSA would be a big deal for like a BGS. So let's say it's a PSA 9, BGS might grade that an 8 or a 9 with all the subgrades, but the subgrades start to go to 10. That's where BGS, all the subgrades really matter to have a more pristine card, and people pay more for that. So like when somebody says a True Gem 9.5 for BGS, that means all 4 subgrades are a 9.5. That means it's a true 9.5. It's not a 10, a 10, a 9, and a 9.5, and that's now going to get a 9.5 based on the grading scale that they've put out. So that makes sense at least. SGC, same thing. They grade tougher personally, from what I've seen with all the videos that I've watched, all the cards I've looked at. I've looked at all 3 with the exact same card, all in a 9 across the board. And honestly, the ones I looked at that time, I'm not saying they're all like that. I'm not trying to poo-poo on PSA, but the PSA was by far the worst one of the 3, mainly because of the centering. And I don't like that PSA has such a wide gap in centering, because eye appeal is so valuable to a card. And the one thing I feel that they slack the most on is centering, which stinks, because that's one of the most valuable things to a card, especially an older card. Centering will outweigh your corners that are all rounded on cards, or color and stuff. There's different aspects to each card. And for the longest time, BGS pretty much had a foothold on the market. And that's why a lot of these older cards you see are in BGS slabs. And they're graded 9 and 9.5s. You don't see these BGS 10s going to auction because they're that hard to find. And I just find it funny that the market doesn't realize this, and I don't know if because PSA's bulk rate was such a deal and there's so much of it out there that the market has conformed to it, and they did a great job doing it, I'll tell you that. But with the way that Golden Auction sells stuff now, Nat Turner owning PSA, and then that group being another big conglomerate, they're going to push their product at some point. It's a smart business move. If you're not doing it, you're an idiot. And I understand that, but the market at some point needs to figure out. SGC's not done anything wrong. They grade cards just fine. And BGS hasn't done anything wrong outside of probably communication. But for card grading standpoint, they haven't done anything wrong. Let's figure this out. Does a BGS 9.5 equal a PSA 10? Does a SGC 10 hold the same value as a PSA 10? These are the type of things that we're trying to figure out, moving forward. Sorry, it's a yard sale back here. That, we have to value as a community, because the community at the end of the day is to be the ones to make the decision. And the thing that I hate the most is I think, PSA, out of the top grading companies, even with the new case, is the cheapest case. I can take that and flex that with my hand, one hand. All right, I can't do that with BGS. I can't even do that with SGC. You know, and if I'm putting a valuable card in a case, shouldn't it be protected to the max? Shouldn't it? All right, back at you. Stopped at a yard sale. Actually picked up some electronic equipment for Wi-Fi for a house. It's kind of expensive stuff. It was 20 bucks for the set. One unit sells for 30, and I got 3 of them. So I'll make a little extra profit there. I'm gonna be able to buy me some baseball cards. All right, but back to the grading thing. I don't know why we let the market get out of control as a collectible group. I think it's because so many people came in, and at that point PSA was the main focus for everybody to put their cards into grade, and then to get cards back to sell. And there was more of them out there realistically, and then that's always what we use as a pop count determination, which there's a pop count realistically for each grading company. And you know, what is that? Now, what's interesting, and this is a little bit of a crossover, but like the video game space with grading video games, WADA does not give you a pop count, which is horrible in my mind, because the value of something is knowing how much is out there, and I understand the intrigue of not knowing how much is out there. And in the past, didn't seem like it overly mattered, at least in most collectibles, because you know, we all knew 52 mantle was rare, but I saw like what felt like 152 mantles at the National. You know, if I would have gone to the National and saw 2, you know, Flippy Steve was looking for a Mike Schmidt OPG rookie. He found 1 at the National. 1. There was more 52 mantles than Mike Schmidt OPG rookies. Okay, that's an example, you know, of something more rare. And kudos to Steve for thinking outside the box and looking for something like that with, you know, a Hall of Fame player. That's smart. That's what you would want to do if you're going to even lightly invest in something, because that's scarce, obviously hard to find. You can probably go on eBay and find some, but you're not cherry picking. You're not getting your deal. That's always the thing, is, you know, you want to buy it for the best price, and sometimes the best price is current market rate. That's just how it is. And I always understand when people say, you know, you can't always sell a card off of a comp. I agree with that. But for the most part, if I can go buy it on eBay for a certain price, buy it now, right away, and the guy that I'm standing across from is trying to sell it to me far higher than that, knowing if he sold on eBay, he still has to pay fees, he'll end up with less, and I'm offering him a cash deal and he won't come off of it, that makes no sense. That's a naive, stupid seller in my mind, my opinion. But sorry, I'm kind of ranting here. It's just a bunch of things that sometimes drive me crazy because people don't think about it. But again, you know, I kind of went off the grading thing. I don't know how many of these companies are going to stick around. I think there's a massive place for these companies to slab cards for sure. And they want to offer grading because at the end of the day, you still want something to give it a calculated value. And that's what grading does. It creates a secondary calculated value. And, you know, but some people just want their cards graded, and they want it sleeved, they want it protected, and they want the cool, you know, logoed, you know, what is it called? I'm losing my crap right now. But you know, the top piece that goes across the label. They want that customized because they look cool. They do. Nobody can argue with that. Some of those things look fantastic. And to get a card you truly enjoy and like visually, and then put it in a slab with a visual component to that makes it more exciting. I mean, look at CSG right now. Everybody's complaining about the pill bottle label. Nobody likes it. You know, even when you have another card with green on it, it's about as farthest you can go with that for being something that you're going to visually like or find appealing. You know, and they have a foothold. That company will not go anywhere. They have way too much money, way too much knowledge, way too many other things going on in grading that they do. This is going to stick for them, but they have to change that label. I don't like PSA's label. I think that's boring too. You know, I like Beckett because they put that, you know, gold plate or silver plate in there. It looks flashy. I paid for something premium. I'm getting something premium. Why can't that be a thing? I wouldn't even. I have other ideas for graded slabs that other companies are not doing right now. I'm not telling them because they can figure it out on their own. My job's not to give them free stuff to go make money on. If they want to talk to me, I'll be happy to talk to them about it. But, you know, if you're going to start this grading cards worth millions of dollars with you know, that's elite money, give us elite services, give us elite casing, give us elite options to our casing. They're not doing that right now at all. Nobody is. I'm waiting for it, but I haven't seen it yet. You know, if you're sleeving up a $1 million card into a case, I want that thing protected probably a little better than the case that it's in, or give me some other option. And they're not doing it right now, but they will. I just don't know when. That's just the way I do it. I don't like how PSA upcharges you for a card. If you grade a card, you know, let's say you have a card you pulled as a kid. As soon as you got it, you put it in a penny sleeve. All right, then you grade the card, and now your card's worth a whole crap ton of money. And PSA is going to be like, hey, listen, card's worth a bunch more money now since we graded it. You know, because of us, this is now worth a lot. We're going to need some money, you know, to release this back to you. This is how that feels. And it has nothing to do with insurance, because they were doing this at the live grading at the show. Because I know somebody that graded a card, his PSA 10 Brady Chrome rookie, became a 10. He had that card as a child. They charged him $1,000 to give him his card back on top of that. Had nothing to do with insurance, had nothing to do with extra that they did. It's just because now the card was worth more money that you had to pay them more. If you're selling me a service, and I know that it's now written in the document, but that's still stupid. If you're selling me a service, why does the service level change because my card is better than most? I just feel like that's being penalized. You know, create a flat fee for a top tier product that says, hey, if you grade this card, even a 9 or a 10 is going to be extremely valuable. This is a higher grading level because of value going in. That's fine. I don't like the secondary thing that says, hey, you know, your card's worth a bunch more money now. Who knows when they grade it? Who knows when the market is at a high or a low? Or is it a benefit to you or not? I think that a general tier for top end cards, because if you're sending a 52 Mantle in or a Jordan rookie and it's in really good shape, you know that it's a top end card. I don't see why you're gonna have to pay extra later. You know, it should just be a flat fee. You know, just charge a flat fee across the board instead of just upcharges. But of course they're making a bunch of money, but at the end of the day, they're holding your card hostage too. They're not gonna give it back to you unless you pay that extra money. And I don't know, if you don't pay it, what happens? Do they just keep it? I mean, because that's theft at that point. I just don't like the concept. I hate it. It's ridiculous. But that's my opinion. It's just me going off. Preach, brother, preach. You know? Crossing the Howard Franklin Bridge now. I'm excited in a couple weeks. I possibly have Dustin, the personal finance dad, and Flipping Steve coming down to Tampa. Hopefully they both get down here at the same time. That'd be super cool. Come down to Tampa show. Trying to get them to come down for Collector Con, but you know, everybody's schedules, you know, don't match up well, so we'll see. I'll get some Collector Con video for sure. I'm planning on, I've already taken that Friday off from work, and I'll be there Friday morning with the Tampa Card Shop people setting up, so I'll be able to get around and walk around the show before the masses, and take a really good peek at everything and maybe get some deals. But alright guys, hope y'all are doing well, and if there's any footage from the card show here, I get tired of just kind of scrolling through cases, because like, do we want to sit there and watch people scroll through cases? At this point, there's not many cards we haven't seen. Now if I see something different or rare, I'll definitely pop that up and I'll throw that at the back end of this video. But everybody stay safe. I know there's Tropical Storm Fred out there in the Gulf that's going to hit the Panhandle, Alabama, Louisiana area will get hit. And then we have another Storm Grace that's already right behind that, that's obviously pointing towards Florida, because everything is pointing towards Florida as it comes across the Atlantic. So I keep my eyes on that every day. Alright guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. The big 1G, baby. It'll allow me to go live from my phone when I do that too. Which, I don't like the whole sitting in front of the camera in my house and trying to talk to it. I gotta maybe get better and more comfortable with that. I like the atmosphere kind of driving. This is enjoyable to me. I'm talking to you, which most people driving by me, it looks like I'm talking to myself now that I think about it. But all right, guys, y'all take care and enjoy any extra footage. Let me know what y'all think, though. See ya. All right, first show back since the National. Just trying to get a gauge on basically how many people are in here. It's already actually quite a few, well over 100. But all right, let's go see what we can find. Look at this guy traveling halfway across the state to be here.
Always.
How you doing, buddy?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. All right, guys, look who I found. It's Boris from the Hobby Box. How have you been? Awesome. Nice seeing you out, buddy. Look at this monster.
It's not the base, but it's the second best one. Yeah.
Holy moly.
People actually like the rookie. It's
Nice
probably the
card,
only
too.
subset I would want. And of course, I pull this one. But
Good
these I got it out of
Kobe's.
10-10.
I like that Steph Gold.
Yeah, I know. That's what everybody does.
Another big card right there. Good cards in this case. All right, guys, here is a rare to see CSG 10. All 10s and of obviously a very good player, Kylian Mbappe, but super cool here. I'm over here too at the Hyper Brother Sports Card thing here. Here are the guys. Say hey. Got Pops there in the middle. Hanging out here at the Tampa Card Show, but I thought that'd be really cool to show everybody the mysterious 10 that doesn't exist. All right, guys, y'all ever seen the Alan Ginter fruit card? I haven't. Yeah, neither have I. Super cool though, something different, but it's not for sale. Okay, so these are the pickups I got today. I picked up a LaMelo Ball SGC 10. I don't have the base rookie, even though I've opened some of the stuff up. I still have some more I'll probably open up. But I just figure, I'll take it. He gave me $200, which is under comps, so that's cool. I got this Jalen Hurts rated rookie green laser shock parallel thingy. I can't remember what they're all called anymore. I swear I can't. But this was $25. Keeps doing well in the preseason. All this stuff's gonna just keep going up, so gotta watch out for him. And then I picked up 2 Jason Tatum optic silver shock, I guess. Velocity, not shock, velocity. These are $50 each, and they're both in pretty good condition. So I felt that was a good deal. Again, under comps, and I didn't have any rated rookies of him, and I prefer the optic product over the Prism, even though the Prism's more valuable. I really do like these cards, and of course LaMelo doesn't have optic yet. So all right, that was just basically what I picked up. It was nice seeing Boris there because I hadn't seen him in a while, and then running into everybody else was really cool. The show, it felt like there was show fatigue starting to go on. Some of the vendors didn't show up that I'm used to seeing. It was still a full room, but it definitely felt a little different. Now, it was getting busier as the time that I left. So in our area, we have so many shows. And we have the Tampa show that comes up in a couple weeks, and I'm not sure how busy that's going to be. I was hoping Dustin and Steve would come down for that, which they may. I was hoping they would really come down for CollectorCon, because that's going to be the big show. There's just so much going on that week of that Tampa show with other shows, in the state and out of the state, that some of these guys that travel over here to set up for the Clearwater and Tampa show may not be at. So just something curious. I'm going to be curious how it turns out. But the Tampa show lately has been the better show, I think, in terms of volume for people. But again, this is what I picked up today. I think these are all good buys right now. Basketball is obviously a good buy right now. Football, you do got to be a little on edge with, but I've liked what I've seen from Hurt so far, even though it was just a little piece. We'll get some more little pieces, and it's one of those things. Do you hold it into the first game of the season, or do you wait a game or two to see if they go off and then you unload it at that point. So that's really what I got to consider. I have other Jalen Hurts too. I have his Mosaic auto that I pulled. I have a National Treasures auto jersey, not a traditional RPA, but that I can also move. So all right, guys, again, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and hope you guys are having a good weekend.